Lots of sunshine today, Keith, but we're just going to have to accept the reality that the jacket and hat weather is really upon us.
Yeah, and I feel like I've been unfairly trying to fight it. Like I'm going out in the morning to drop Luca off at daycare without a jacket.
Yeah, and I understand that instinct, but give it up.
Yeah, there's no point. It was too chilly this morning. We hit down to the mid-20s even along the coastline. Look at Freiburg, 19, 17 in Berlin. So yeah, I talked about how it was going to be colder this morning than it was last morning. It was significantly so. Frost on most surfaces. Average low is 35, so that is below average. Now we're struggling in the 40s, of course. It's hard when you start that chilly. The sun doesn't matter that much anymore as far as how much it can warm up our atmosphere with this sun angle. So we're going to struggle into the 40s and even still freezing in Rangeley at 32. I mentioned before some ski areas starting to make so. It's a little bit optimistic, but then again, they do open in November. A lot of years they try to be open for Thanksgiving at least. So got to start somewhere. Visible satellite showing some clouds into the mountains. Otherwise it is clear. I do think we'll break out to a mixture of sun and clouds even along the coastline later this afternoon. So temperatures don't have that much more room yet, probably into the mid and maybe some upper 40s by later this afternoon. But your high temperature actually comes in earlier too this time of the year with a sunset around 5:20 or so. Clouds come in overnight tonight along the coastline. That's a storm system that's going to be missing to our south-southeast. Tomorrow I think is a nicer day. It's not quite as chilly. And then we get to around 50 degrees by tomorrow afternoon, nice and bright. We'll roll into the weekend on the same note. Chilly start on Saturday, of course, in the 20s in a lot of spots. And then we end up with sunny skies on Saturday. Temperatures should be able to get between 50 and 53 degrees, which doesn't seem like a huge difference, but it kind of is as far as what it feels like to be outside. We stay nice on Sunday as well. Just a few more high, thin clouds around possibly on Sunday. And then we watch this storm system to our south. It's going to be a big storm coming in off the Georgia coastline. Two possible outcomes here. One, it swings towards us on Monday into Tuesday. The other is it goes out to sea. It is looking like this is the likely outcome, that it gets suppressed by this ridge of high pressure, gets a little bit baggy in its presentation and gets kicked out to sea. It's worth watching still, mainly because it's the only thing really to think about in this forecast for the next 7 days is this low. And you can see that it digs into the ridge initially, but then starts to get pushed away, kind of suppressed on Monday into Tuesday. I wouldn't completely write it off just yet, but I think if the afternoon computer model runs here come in and continue to push it out to sea, then we will be able to write it off as just a fish storm moving off to our east, and then high pressure builds back in for mid to late next week. Now, temperature-wise, not that interesting today and tomorrow, below average, and then at or a little bit above average Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Late next week is still up for grabs. The models really liked a big warm-up yesterday. They've backed off that a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on that. But again, that's almost beyond the 7-day forecast at this point. In it is all good. There's really no legitimate chances of rain. The weekend's about as good as you can hope for this time of the year. Yeah, it's chilly, obviously, Saturday and Sunday morning, but we get to 50 to 55 during the day. That's pretty good. Should be able to get to around 60 on Tuesday and Wednesday. And again, we'll wait to see what happens late next week. And this is why I joke, Pat, about being optimistic, making snow. I think the mountains probably be in the 50s, but if you can make more snow than melts, then you're in good shape, I guess, going into opening day.
That's a pretty good business model right there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Keith.